So when we are preparing the what you call template, performance template, I will just go and show you manage template, so, so that you can have a more clarity on it, where and how it is being used. Then we will go and see how we can able to create these competencies, or how we can able to bring these competencies in the performance. So when you go into the performance review, the basic and the most important thing is, when you go here and when you prepare your template, you can find in the goal section the edits and field section, edit and field. In the goal, you have this not in the goal but in the core values, in the core value and the role specific. These are the two areas. If you see here, we have already enabled. Okay, for core values we have already enabled, we have already put a check in. So these are the core what you call competencies which will be coming on a default basis. Role specific competencies. In the role specific competencies, if you are selecting this competency job specific, okay, under the role specific, while preparing this template, performance template, then after that, what is the another step? We will launch the form, right? We launch the form to the users. Okay, so this form will be sent to the employees at the first level. So when the form will be sent to the employees, when the person will go and see that performance form, employee will go and see in the performance form, this job specific competency should list should reflect. Okay, how these competencies are coming there, that part we will be seeing in the today's session, how we will be mapping those things, so that the first step is to enable this job specific from the template that we have already done it. Okay, now we have to go and see how those competencies, now you can see the competencies are not there. Okay, but when we go and launch the form, and when the form will be sent to the employee, and when the employee will go for the evaluation, self evaluation step, in that, at that time, all the competencies should come for that particular employee, because what are the job role which that employee is keeping, according to that job role the competencies will be mapped. How it will be mapped, how the configuration is being done, that we will be seeing right. Okay, that is the purpose of going and creating the competencies. Either you can go and create take the standard one, or you can add the custom competence. Okay, now when we go back into our Excel sheet, I have just uh, listed down for the job specific competence. So these are some 7 steps which is involved into that. So here we have creating a set of known core competencies. That is the first step we have already done in the template. Second step is the job family. Third step is the job role. Under the family, once you create a family, then you have to create a role. Okay, then after that you have to maintain the job code column in the UDF. Okay, that I will show you. Then mapping the role and the competencies, and mapping the role and competencies, and then again going and doing the same again. Then you have a job specific checkbox in the role specific competencies. So I'm just going back into the screen, and I will duplicate this screen once, and again I will go. Going into the job family, there is a keyword called job profile content. So manage job profile. Okay. There are two things are there. Okay. One is job profile content, and one is job profile import and export. Okay. So earlier I will show you this one, manage job profile content, and I will also duplicate this screen. Okay. So when you are going into the job profile content, this one, you can able to go. The purpose is not this one. Manage job When you go here, you can see the drop down. So earlier, before the previous releases, we can also go and see the competencies here. But now we are unable to see that competency part. Okay. Earlier the competency section was here, and where you can able to see the standard one, and you can also download it. You can also add the custom. Now what we can do, we have a import and export option. So again I go manage job profile content import and export. When you go here, okay, so first thing what you are doing, you want to download a blank template. Okay, if you want to add up. So here you can see all the competencies are there, all the sections are there, and here you can see the competencies. Okay. So when you click on this competency, fill the download tab with the existing data. So you want to fill with the existing data, then all the existing data will come. If you want to fill in the blank and then you want to import, then click on no. So when you click on no, it will download a blank template. So when you open this template, you can see here. Okay. So here you can able to mention all the, suppose it is an English version. Okay, default value, whatever is the default value, the name, and after that, after the languages, if I go here, you can see here, after the name, you have the description. Description means the competency. What is the competency description, custom description you want to add, okay, in English. Okay. Similarly, you have the same value, default value. Okay. Then again you come down. It will be the language paths which is showing here. After the description, then you have the core value. So this is the core value. Core value means this is the core value or a job specific value. Okay, but it is not a core value. It is a job specific. So you have to mention here false. Okay, because this is something related to job role specific, right?
Yeah.
That is the thing here. So this is not a core one. So we have to mention it false. Status we have to mention it is active. Okay, external code, and like this you have to update all these things. Okay, and then after saving it, after saving this particular sheet, you need to go back into the system, and here you have to choose the file. You have to choose the file encoding as UTF-8. You have to select the file that is for competencies. Select the file as competencies, choose the file, and then it should be incremental load, and then you have to upload it, validate it, and import it. Okay. After doing this is only for the this one. What you call, when you want to create a custom one, when you don't want to use the what you call competencies which is already there, which has been provided by the SAP SuccessFactors. You want your own as per your customer is saying. In that case, you have to go to the manage job profile content import. Okay, with that you can able to create. After creating it, where you can able to go and see it. So when you again go back here into the job profile content, so the second step is to create the job family. When you go and go here, you can see here setting up the job family center rules. Okay, so setting up the job family center rules. So you have to go and click on this setting up the job family center rules. Okay, so you can see here already there are a lot of families which is already being created, and already they have some roles. Status is active, and this is UID is coming by default. Okay, all these things is coming. So you want to create your own family. So how you will go and create? Okay, before going and create, I just want to show you. So here, for creating the job family, assume that the job is I am taking this as A1, A2 or something. So this is the job, and for this you have a role. That is, I have taken this at HR talent acquisition. This is the role for that particular job, and you want to add this role into which family? I created a family as HR family. So first what I will do, I will create a family as HR family. Then I will try to add the role to this family. Okay, this family can have multiple roles. I can also have HR operations. Okay, I can have HR payroll. Okay, so these the three roles I am adding to this family, and this role will be having some job code EC, and this job code is coming from where? From employee center. Okay, this job code is coming from where? From the employee center. Job code is nothing but job job code is nothing but the job classification, right? So when you have created a job classification, when you have created a job classification during the hire process, okay, during the hire process, you would have added those job classification for 10 employees in the sense. Getting my point? Getting. I
Is
will
it
create it. I will create it right now, but
okay?
I will create the job family job role. Okay, but the job I have to see if it is there or not. In case if it is there, it is mapped with the employer or not. I'm not sure. Okay,
Hmm.
because that is being done at the time of hiring. But I am just telling the logic to you how it will be connected. We will be doing it practically. This job family role, job code, everything mapping we will do right. Okay, but
Okay.
how from where this job code is coming? It is coming from the job classification. And when it is coming from job classification, how this job classification is mapped to suppose 10 employees, because when you are hiring a person, this job classification is connected to a position. Okay, and when we are hiring a person, you will be mapping the position to that particular employee during the hire process. So automatically this job code will be mapped with this number of employees. Okay,
Okay. Via the position.
by the
So job.
position. Job family is something like a group which you want to create. Okay, if you remember, we have learned about RVP, that is role based permission.
Yeah.
If you recall, so in that the RVP, what we have done, we have created a permission group, right? So a group name we have created, HR group or the what you call finance group or leadership group. We have not added any employee. We have just created a group. That is the first level. After
Yeah.
that, we have started adding the participants, or we have started adding the members into that group. Similarly, here also we will create a group in term of family. That may be HR family, that may be a finance family, FI family, that may be a purchase procurement sales family. We are creating a group, but that group is totally blank. Now we want to add the number of roles to that group. Who will be there in that group? Okay, so I created a family by name HR family. So I will show you here. So when you go and create here, so I'm just creating a role. Suppose creating a family name. Suppose I'm just creating HR and admin. HR and admin. Okay. So the purpose is that uh, what are the roles, what are the job codes which is connected to the HR and admin. We want to create a separate group. Okay. So first of all, I will create this family. Okay, I will create family. Once I will create family, you can see here HR and admin family is being created. The role is
Yeah.
still blank. Okay, so what I have to do, you can see the two parts here, family and role. I will click on the role here. Okay, once I will click on the role, you can see here create role. Okay, so I will create a role.
Mm.
When I will create a role, then it will ask you to which family you want to map this role. Okay, so the family which we have already created, you can see here HR and admin. I will just select this family, and suppose if I'm taking the role as uh, HR operations, this one, and okay, and I will just first of all I will create. Okay, now if I go back into the family, I can see in HR family one role is already there. Got
Yeah.
it. Now if I just want to go again and I just want to add one more role. Okay, so I will create a role, go here, HR family, and just give me some name as uh, and then I will create this. Now when I go and see, it should show the number 2. Okay, up to here we have completed. Means first we created a family. Now after that we created a role and mapped this role to the family. Okay, got it. I just given an example of RBP. Now forget about RBP
Okay.
because you asked me about the group at that time. So I just want to compare it how it will be there.
Okay.
Now just leave that RBP aside. We have these two roles.
Yeah.
Now, if you are asking me a question that Bimal, is this role is related to the job code in EC, that should be how we will do it in the another step by doing the mapping. So when I will
Okay.
go here, we have two roles for this family. So I'm
Yeah.
just clicking on the first role. When I'm just clicking on the first role, you can see here job code, skill, competencies, talent. Okay. So in the job code, when I want to map any job code to this particular role, I will click on here. Okay. I will select it default. And then suppose if I want to, if I copy, suppose I'm just duplicating this. I don't know who all are there and anybody is there or not. So what I will do, I will go to manage data. I just want to see HR related any job code is there or not. So I will go to manage data. I will go to job classification to check the job code and I will just randomly type HR. Okay, so I can see two things are there. Two things are coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I am seeing here this one, okay. So suppose if I am taking this particular HR professional job code, okay, copying it here and I will try to. So you can see here it is coming here. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm just selecting and I'm just saving. So what is happening? This role is mapped with this job. But why the position is showing is 0? Because till now nobody has hired any hired on this particular position. Okay. If you have used this particular position for any employees, then that number of employees list will be coming here. Got it? Understood.
Okay.
Okay. Now coming to, if you
The
come here
HR.
in the employee central, you have this job code. Job code is the job code is something, the role, job role for that particular position.
Yeah.
Okay, because that is the reason we started with employee central a few months back, because
Mm-hmm.
every data will be flowing from here only to the PMGM. Okay, so when you are going and creating the job classification, then only you can able to go and create a position.
Yeah.
So when you go and search, when I'm just selecting the position here, and let me see if any position is there or not. Suppose position is there. So okay, so here you can able to see this particular position. When you are seeing here, there is a job code here, right? This job code
Yeah.
is this job code is because that is the reason before creating the position we have to create a job classification, because when you go and search here, then you have to write the same job classification code here. Okay, then only you can create a position. Okay, so after that, when you go and do the add new employee, if you remember add new employee, you have hired a person, there will be some section where you will be getting the position. So when this position is being created, you have to mention this position there. In this way, that employee will be hired on this particular position. Got it? Yes, yes. Without the job code, the position is not clear. See, you can see this is a mandatory field. Okay.
Okay.
So that is the thing. Whenever you want to create a position, you have to create a position on the basis of the job classification. Okay. So that is the thing. Lot of data will be auto populating from the job classification. You can see here.
Okay.
Okay. So once it is been done in Employee Central, and once you have done the hiring, this data will be again flowing into the PMGM. So when you go and select a job code here, when you add a job code here, you can able to see how many positions, means how many hiring is been done. Okay, this is been there. And after coming that, you have to come down to the competencies. Okay, when you come down to the competencies, you have to click on again to the map competencies. Here you can see the library. Go and select the SuccessFactors 2.1 competency library. After selecting this, go and select here category, and you can see the competency list here. Okay, this is the standard one. Okay, now if you are adding some custom one with the help of this import, well, I think I just, where was that import? With the help of the import which you will be doing, that also should be reflecting here in the job profile. Okay, your custom one. Once it is been done, then suppose if you are selecting, suppose if I'm selecting this one, and if I'm selecting this one, I'm just randomly selecting, and I want to map it. So click, select the competencies to map. When I'm just clicking on here, and once I click on I am done, those competencies will be coming here. Okay, and those competencies, when it is coming here, you have to give some ratings here according to that, and these competencies will be connected to this job code, and this job code will be connected to this job role, and it will be connected to the family. Once you save this, you can able to see one job code will be there. Okay,
Yep.
so again you have to go and save the family. Okay, now if you just go and see here, in this way it will come. Now this is the what you call, create a job family, create a role under this family, that is done, and maintain the job code column in the UDF. Okay, maintain the job code column means the another step is here you have to go to the import employee data. You have to open this, and you have to So here you can see the job code. What is there? So here you have to select those employees and you have to specify the job code here. So if you have 10 employees, you have to update all the 10 employees job code here, and you have to re-import. Okay, you have to re-import back into the system. Okay, either you can go and do it from here, or else if you can able to go employee export, and if you are exporting the user here, here also you can find the same thing. If you open here, you can see the job code here. Okay, so here you have to specify all these job codes, okay, which you are creating. So once it is being done, that is the third step. Like that is the third step here. The fourth step, maintaining the job code, because what you are doing, you are adding that, mapping that job code with the job role and the job family. Okay, this part when you're doing here, you also have to map it in the UDF file also. Then only you will be going with the role mapping with the role and the competence. After doing all these things, then when you go and launch the form, okay, then these job competencies will be reflecting to that particular employees which you are choosing while launching the form. Okay, so in that case, the last step is to just set the job specific checkbox in the role specific competency section. So that is the part which I was just showing you earlier. So in the manage template, when you go into this performance form, and when you select our performance form, when you go into the role specific, you have to check this one which you are referring. This is the last step. Okay, then after that, when you launch this form, okay, when you launch this form, how you will be launching this form? You already know launching the form. When you launch the form, okay, when you're launching the form, the same form which you have updated, this one. When you launch the form, it will ask you for the employee, right? Here, it will ask you for the employee here. So you have to select all those employees. So those employees, what we are doing for those employees in the UDF file, we have mapped the job code. And the same thing, we have done it in the job profile content, mapping the job code here also, in the job role and in the job family. Okay, and when we have done for that particular role, in that particular role, there are competencies. How many competencies are there? 4 to 5 competencies are there. So these competencies, when you launch the form here, automatically in those employees, this one, what you call sheet, when the form is being launched, performance form, in that performance form sheet, all the 4 competencies will be coming in that particular section. Got it? Understood? Or should I repeat it again? Yeah, this is the core one. This is also the standard one which is coming up. Okay, this is by default it is coming up, but here in the role specific you have to choose it. Okay, either standard or custom. How you are choosing? You are choosing from here. From here, map the competencies. You are choosing from here. How you are doing it. These are the list of the competencies. You're doing this job specific competence, mapping these competencies in this particular section. Okay, then when you are launching the form, what is happening? You are selecting a set of user, and during the hiring process that set of user will be having some position, and that position is created on the basis of some job classification, and that job classification code only we are mapped here. Okay, so when you have mapped that job classification code, in that job classification code, how many this is there, means how many competencies are there. These competencies will be coming in the performance form automatically. Okay, so what you need to do when you are creating, see, you will go and first of all you will go and create a goal template, then you will go and create a rating scale, then you will go and create a route map, then you come to the template here, right? When you come to the template, you have to assign those goals, everything by mapping it here, right? Then what you need to do before going into the role specific, go to the competencies and try to create a competency, and try to how you will go and create a competency. Either you can take a standard one or you can able to add a competency by import and export. Once it is been done, go to the manage job profile content. After going into the manage job profile content, then what you need to do, you have to go and create a job family. Okay, how you will go and create a job family? You have to go and create, when this page will be there, you have to first of all you have to select this option, set of families and roles. Once you select this, you can see create family. Okay, once you click on the create family, you will be getting this, and you have to save it, which I have just shown you. Okay, then after saving it, what you have to do, you have to go and create a role. When you create a role, you have to select the family which you had already created. Means you are mapping this role. Okay, once the role is being done, then you can see the role here like this. The significance of the role is that when you have created the job code is job classification is nothing but the job role. Job classification is nothing but in the managed data right now I shown you. Before creating the position, you have created a job classification, and this job code is nothing but the This job code is nothing but job classification. So this you have to map up with the role. Okay. Then only this will have a synchronization with the performance form. Otherwise, there will be a gap between the creation of the competency with the performance form. To link the competency with the performance form, we should have this job families and the job role. Okay. That is the reason when you went here, it is showing as blank. Nothing is there. When you launch the form also, that is the thing, it is nothing is done. Okay. So when you launch the form, if that particular set of user has to see, when you launch the form, you will be having certain sections will be there. Core area, where you will be giving the ratings. If you remember, we have launched the form for option, rating option 3, rating option 0, rating option 2, 1. So we have seen that when we launch the form, you can see certain sections are there, where you have a comment section, where you have a rating section, okay, and down where you can see core competencies, job specific competencies. Then you have a summary section. Then you have a signature section. So in the job specific competencies and the core competencies automatically these values will be coming up. Okay. But for the job goal specific competencies, you have two options. Either you can able to get the value with the help of this manage job profile content, where you will be creating a family role, job code, and the competence. And then you have to update it in the UDF file for mapping it. That is one way. If you don't want this, then here in the manage template, go to the settings here. In the show advanced setting, you can able to enable this one. Allow users to add competence. So you are giving an add button there for the employee. If you want to restrict, you don't want to give the add button, and you want when the employee should open when the form reaches to employee, the job specific competency should automatically reflect in the form. This is the method. With the help of that, the form when you launch the form to that particular employee, that competencies list of competencies which you have already selected here. List of competencies which you have already selected here. These competencies will be reflected there automatically. Okay, that is the purpose of creating this job family role and this mapping it with the code, job code, and mapping with the job role and the competencies.
Okay.
See, skill competency means how should I explain to you? Suppose when you are creating a job description in the recruitment side, and when you want a mechanical engineer or the electrical engineer, so for getting a mechanical engineer, what are the competencies? Means uh, what you call what competency is something like what are the um, what you call in for performing that job role, what are the additional area which you require in that particular job role. Skill is something like a in the mechanical engineer you CAD cam, if I say AutoCAD cam, that is something like a skill. Okay, that is coming as a design engineer who want to go into the design engineer. Competency is different and the skill is different. Suppose if you want to if I say about the skill into SAP, what is my skill set? So what is your skill set? You are into SAP SuccessFactors. Somebody may be into SAP material management. Somebody may be into SAP HR. Somebody may be into SAP FICU. These are the skills. Okay. Performing that role, executing that role, what is the competence? The competency is different and the skill set is different. Okay. If you are saying in the IT, what are the skill set? You may be having Java, J2E, C++, .NET. These are the skill sets. Okay. But when you are giving a IT analyst, you are an IT analyst, and or you are a software testing engineer. Okay, so in the software testing engineer, what is your skill set? You are into a manual tester or automation tester. In the automation also, you may be having certain tools are there. Okay, so in the automation, what are the skill sets? What are the skills you are involved in success factor? Success factor, what is the skills you are into? You are into you are more into which module? Employee central or into recruiting, onboarding. These are the skills. Competency is something like how you are executing that work to for that particular skill. Okay, so that is the reason for when you are launching a form and everything. There you have core competency also and job specific competency also. So in the core and job specific competency also, you will be specifying the rating as well as the comments from the manager. So if the manager sees that there is some coaching or is required, then there is an option. If you see coaching and behavior, so manager can able to mention in the under the job specific competencies that for this particular competency there should be some coaching required or some area of improvement is required. So he can able to mention those on the in the comment if it is there. So how we can able to do those mapping of the competencies with the help of this particular manage job profile content. You have to come down and create your family. Under the family, you will be creating a role, and under the role, you will be mapping the role with job code and role with competencies. And after that, here it content how it will be connected to the employee central. Then again, you have to download the basic import and you have to go and see in the UDF file under the job code. This job code has already been mapped on. Then after that, you need to launch the form and you need to check these competencies are coming while launching the form. Definitely 100% it will be coming. Okay, and then you will be having this ratings and the comment section for this job specific competencies. If you're not specifying anything, it will be when you're launching the form here for the particular employee, it will be shown as blank code. The job specific competency will be shown as blank. Okay. If I just want to, I'm not sure about it, but let's see if anything is there. Pop seed and let me go and see if any performance form. Here, in this form, you can see here role specific competency.
Yeah.
And in this role specific competency, somebody has already mapped it. You can see here the competencies are coming. Acting for the change of champion for the change, controlling cost. So you can able to add it. Okay. Okay. And here in this employee, for the employee section here the add button is not there. Okay, that is the only thing which I told you. If you specify here, then that add button will come in this section. But if you don't want the add button and when the form is launched, these job specific should automatically come. How it will come? With the help of some add families and job roles and this adding the job. Okay, so this Ahmed van will be is having a position. That position is connected to a job role, and whatever is the job role is that job code is connected in the job profile content. That may be the reason it is coming. Okay, got it. And here you can see for the job social you will have the writing assistant. Writing assistant means if the manager want to put any comment on that for this particular job specific role, any coaching is required from any comment, so that they can able to mention. Okay? And you can able to see improve, meet, and exceed. Okay? You can able by default it will be coming. You can the manager can select from here, and if you can see here, describe the behavior or give the advice. You can able to specify. Okay, that will be automatically coming here. that will be automatically coming under this particular competencies. Okay. In this way, in the front end, the screen will look like when you launch a form. Okay.
Okay.
So when you are adding a competency from the standard one, or when you are adding a competency with a custom one, you have to follow this job family process, and then you need to map it in the UDF file also. Then you have to launch the. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What I would suggest is that you go and do you go and hire an employee and give some job classification code and the position. Then after that, you go to the job families and everything and create the competencies and everything. And then in the UDF, you map it and then you go and launch the form for that particular employee. And you can check that those competencies are coming out. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. This was the important part, the competencies. So that is nothing after completion of the PM performance management. I just taken it on the last week. So that's it
Yep.
from my end. Any questions? Okay. Mainly in the performance management and goal management, goal management, template creation, performance management. Then you have what you call calibration, 360 multi-rater. Then you have this one, CPM, and then the competence. These covers the section for the PM.
Yeah.
And also one more thing, there is a app, there is software tool called What's New Viewer. Go and check those tool also in the SAP. What's New Viewer. So what was the recent release just came in the month of May. So what are the changes? What are the new modifications just came for performance management, goal management? You can go and check it. It will help you to
Mm-hmm.
give a clear picture for your customers.
Okay.
And every 6 months, these new releases are coming, so you can check it in the this what's new page. So it is for all modules for success factors. So in that, EC is also the performance management.